Kamusta? Welcome to our Philippine Foreign Relations series. Philippines, the Pearl of the Orient, has a diverse foreign relation with countries all over the globe. Located in Southeast Asia and as an Asian country, had made its connection with other Asian countries intact over the past few years. And today, we will dig deep to the Philippine foreign relations with selected countries from Southeast Asia, East Asia, and Middle East Asia. Tara at sumama sa paglalakbay patungo sa mas malalim pang kaalaman hinggil sa bansang tinatawag na perlas ng silangan, ang Pilipinas.
Sawadika! Mabuhay! Thailand, the land of smile, is located in Southeast Asia. It was on the year 1949 when Philippines and Thailand established its diplomatic relation. At first, contract between the two countries was only through indirect trading.
It was only on June 14, 1949, in the leadership of former President Elpidio Quirino and the late King Bhumibol, the Great of Thailand, that direct relations between the two countries began as both signed the Treaty of Friendship, formalizing their bilateral relationship.
Philippines and Thailand both became founders of SEATO in September 1954 and of ASEAN in 1967.
Manila and Bangkok, the country's capitals, became sister cities on 24 June 1997. In 1999, as the Philippines and Thailand celebrated 50 years of cordial, harmonious, and dynamic friendship, the Philippines renamed Rada Street as Thailand Street in the bustling business district of Makati, while Thailand opted to have Soy Philippines or the Philippine Street at the corner where the Philippine Embassy is located along the Sukhumvit Road, Bangkok's business center.
The exchange of visits between the two countries' leaders further attests to the excellent state of relations between the Philippines and Thailand. Such visits were done to send aid and extend a helping hand with each other in times of natural disasters like 2005, the Philippines under the government of former President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo sent forensic teams to Thailand to assist in identifying the remains of victims in areas devastated by Indian Ocean tsunami in southern Thailand. In May 2010, Thailand, led by King Bhumibol the Great, turned over 520 metric tons or 10,400 bags of rice to the Philippine government for distribution to the victims of Typhoon Ondoy. And in December 2011, Thailand donated $100,000 in cash for the victims of Tropical Storm Sendo.
Relations between Thailand and the Philippines are also vibrant in the field of trade and investment. A 2011 report from the Thai Ministry of Commerce ranked the Philippines as the 12th export destination for Thai products with total value amounting to $4,640.8 US dollars.
The same report showed that the Philippines was Thailand's 17th largest supplier of goods in 2011, with a value worth $2,701.8.
Since the establishment of diplomatic relations in June 1949, the Philippines and Thailand had been in good relation with each other, specifically in the area of defense. On March 29, two Thai Navy vessels were in the Philippines for a goodwill visit. The development spotlight the ongoing activity within the defense realm of the relationship between the two Southeast Asian states, amid wider domestic and foreign policy developments.
Both sides have been attempting to further boost joint collaboration in recent years, with incidents in both countries such as the Miravalles crisis in the Philippines and the incremental development of regional security mechanism in ASEAN-led fora being just a few examples of sources for that cooperation. In addition to discrete engagement, the two sides have also looked to further develop the architecture of the defense relationship, with the case in point being the official setting up of the Joint Committee on Military Cooperation, which effectively completed a series of arrangements signed between the two countries. Major services beginning with the navies in 2012, the armies in 2015, and the air forces in 2016.
From 1949 until today, relations between the two countries continue to strengthen and flourish.
As what Captain Jonathan V. Sata, Director of Naval Public Affairs Office stated, this visit translates into sustainment of already strong friendship between the Philippines and its Asian partner Navy, which also benefits both armed forces. The fitting reception bestowed by PN promotes peace and stability and enhancement maritime cooperation through naval diplomacy and camaraderie.
Philippines and Thailand already have a strong relation, but there will be more ways to strengthen its relation with each other in order to help one another and obtain unity in the Southeast Asian region. period of Japanese history as the Japanese merchants and the traders had settled in Luzon at this time, especially in the area of Dilao, a suburb of Manila, was a Nihonmachi of 3,000 Japanese around the year of 1600.
The Japanese had established quite early an enclave at Dilao where they numbered between 300 and 400 in 1593. In 1603, during the Sangli Rebellion, they numbered 1,500 and 3,000 in 1606. In the 16th and 17th centuries, thousands of Japanese people traders also migrated to the Philippines and local assimilated into the local population.
In the first half of 17th century, intense official trade took place between the two countries through the Red Seal ship system. 30 official Red Seal ship passports were issued between Japan and the Philippines between 1604 and 1616.
By the mid-17th century, Japan established an isolationist policy and contacts between the two nations were severed until after the opening of Japan in 1854. In the 16th and 17th centuries, thousands of Japanese traders also migrated to the Philippines and assimilated into the local population.
During the 1896 uprising against Spanish colonial rule, the 1898 Spanish-American War Filipino freedom fighters, especially the Katipunan, sought assistance from the Japanese government. The Katipunan sent a delegate to the Emperor of Japan to solicit funds and military arms in May 1896.
Although the Meiji government of Japan was unwilling and unable to provide any official support, Japanese supporters of Philippine independence in the Pan-Asian movement raised funds and sent weapons on the privately chartered Nonobike Maru, which sank before reaching its destination. However, under the terms of the Tapkatsuro Agreement of 1905, the Japanese government officially acquiesced to American colonial rule over the Philippines.
During the American period, Japanese economic ties to the Philippines expanded tremendously, and by 1929, Japan was the largest trading partner to the Philippines after the United States. Economic investments was accompanied by large-scale immigration of Japanese to the Philippines, mainly merchants, gardeners, and prostitutes.
During World War II, immediately after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Japanese forces invaded and quickly overcame resistance by the United States and Philippine Commonwealth military. Strategically, Japan needed the Philippines to prevent its use by Allied forces as a forward base of operations against the Japanese home islands and against its plans for the further conquest of Southeast Asia.
In 1943, a puppet government, the Second Philippine Republic, was established, led by the former President Jose P. Laurel, but gained little popular support primarily due to the Imperial Japanese Army's brutal conduct towards the Philippine civilian population. During the course of Japanese occupation, the subsequent battle during the American and Filipino reinvasion, an estimated 1 million Filipinos died, giving rise to lingering anti-Japanese sentiment.
Also, in 1943, Japanese Prime Minister Hideki Toho and Philippine President Jose P. Laurel both attended the Greater East Asia Conference in Tokyo, Japan.
The Philippines was granted independence by the United States in 1946 and was a signatory to the 1951 San Francisco Peace Treaty with Japan.
Diplomatic relations were normalized and re-established in 1956 when the War Abortations Agreement was concluded. By the end of 1950s, Japanese companies and individual investors had begun to return to the Philippines.
Japan and Philippines signed the Treaty of Amity, Commerce, and Navigation in 1960, but the treaty did not go into effect until 1973.
The Supreme Order of the Chrysanthemum, established in 1876, is Japan's highest order. It is generally conferred on members of the imperial family and foreign heads of state.
Among the Philippine presidents that received the Grand Cordon were the former President Diosdado Macapagal, Ferdinand Marcos, Corazon Aquino, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and Benigno Simeon Aquino III.
Hirohito, Japan's 124th emperor, met the President Ferdinand Marcos in a state visit by the latter to Japan in 1966.
In 1972, Marcos abolished the Philippine legislature under martial law, and he took his legislative power as part of his authoritarian rule. He ratified the Treaty of Amity, Commerce, and Navigation 10 days prior to a visit of Japanese Prime Minister Kakuei Tanaka.
In 1999, at least 122 containers of hospital and household waste were shipped to the Philippines from Japan.
The Japanese government took back the waste after it was confirmed that it has hazardous and poses health risks.
Just last January 29, 2019, a Japanese destroyer docked in the Philippine capital Manila. It is for a purpose to boost defense ties and enhance our regional stability. Captain Hiroko Azuma, commander of the Japanese Escort Division 1, led a contingent that brought Japanese destroyer JS Ikazuchi to Manila on a 3-day goodwill visit, which includes a coordination meeting with the Philippine military.
Both Philippines and Japan are locked in maritime dispute with China.
Beijing and Tokyo claim ownership of uninhabited islets in the East China Sea, known as the Senkaku in Japan and Jiaoyu in China.
China also claims most of the South China Sea and has built bases on reefs and shoals. It reclaimed that despite partial claims by the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan.
But Japan's visit and meeting with the Philippine Navy has nothing to do with China because Japan is now committed to the vision of freedom and opening of the Pacific.
Japan and Philippines share a core value that emphasizes free and open ocean based on rules of international law and freedom of navigation.
And this is just another step for relation of Philippines to Japan to be in the next level.
Kamusta ka?
United Arab Emirates, simply called the Emirates, is a federation of 7 emirates, namely Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Ajman, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, and Al Quwain. Together, the 7 emirates make up the UAE, which maintain a large degree of independence and is governed by a Supreme Council of Rulers made up of the 7 emirs, who appoint the Prime Minister of the Cabinet.
Diplomatic relations between the Philippines and the United Arab Emirates was established in 1980 in the regime of former President Ferdinand Marcos and the then President of UAE, late President Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan.
On June 17, 1980, the Philippine government opened its diplomatic mission in Abu Dhabi. The embassy premises were at the Janana building along Electra Street in the Camidia area, and the embassy was initially in the care of the Charge d'Affaires.
The first resident Philippine ambassador to the UAE was Isabelo J. Astraquillo from the year of 1986 to 1989. He was succeeded by Fortunato de Oblena from 1989 to 1994, Roy V. Senieres from 1994 to 1998, Amable R. Aguiluz III from 1998 to 2003, Gibran N. Kabaktulan from 2003 to 2009, Grace R. Princesa from 2009 to 2015, and Constancio R. Vina Jr. from 2015 to 2018.
His Excellency Janzenn M. Quintana is the current Philippine ambassador to the UAE. while the new UAE ambassador to the Philippines is His Excellency Mr. Hamad Said Al Zahabi.
The United Arab Emirates is dependent on expatriate workers, with a significant number of them being Filipinos. The UAE is the second top destination for overseas Filipino workers after Saudi Arabia. There are about 500,000 to 600,000 Filipinos in the Emirates. Of all Filipino workers in UAE, 60% are classified as professional, 25% are semi-skilled, and 15% are unskilled. As efforts to expand labor relations, the UAE is prospecting in areas of highly skilled labor, agriculture, and environment studies. Total trade between the Philippines and UAE increased to $1.61 billion in 2010 from $1 billion in 2009.
The UAE is ranked 16th among the Philippines trading partners in 2009, 14th largest import partner, and 21st largest export partner. On the same year, the UAE was the Philippines' second import partner and the first export partner in the Middle East. 90% of the Philippines' import from the UAE are petroleum products. The UAE, particularly Abu Dhabi, serves as the transit hub for the Philippines' export products, many of which enter duty-free to other countries in the Middle East.
The UAE supported peace talks between the government of the Philippines and the Moro National Liberation Front, which led to a final peace agreement signed in Manila on September 2, 1996. The UAE also supported the Philippines' bid for observer status in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and advised the Philippines to also get support from other member countries, which remained neutral to the Philippines' bid.
From 1980 until today, UAE and Philippines bilateral relationship was intact with 10 bilateral agreements between the two countries and numerous presidential visits and exchanges by the leaders of the two countries. There will be more to come for the relationship of the UAE and the Philippines.
On May 24, 2018, the Philippines and the United Arab Emirates affirmed the strong bilateral ties between the two countries.
The two countries have enhanced cooperation in political, economic, cultural, and people-to-people ties.
Through the meetings of Ambassador to United Arab Emirates Constancio R. Vino Jr. with Assistant Undersecretary for Consular Affairs Ahmed Alam Al-Dairi on May 10, Assistant Foreign Minister for Human Rights and International Law Ahmed Abdul Rahman Al-Harman on May 15, and with Assistant Undersecretary for Protocol Affairs Shihab Ahmed Mohammed Al-Fahem on May 21 in the year of 2018.
Ambassador Vigno paid courtesy visits to bid his official farewell to 3 key officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation.
Ambassador Vigno has played a key role in the comprehensive development of bilateral relations between the Philippines and the UAE, which is reflected in the number of high-level visits from ministries and sectors of both nations.
Ambassador Vigno also helped facilitate the signing of landmark agreements between the two countries and enhance cooperation in political, economic and trade, culture and tourism, and people-to-people ties.
Ambassador Vigno has also looked after the welfare of more than 600,000 Filipinos in the UAE.
The ambassador reported that the 3 UAE officials thanked him for his hard work, cooperation, and commitment to enhancing bilateral relations between the Philippines and UAE. He also reported that their offices will continue to work with the Philippine missions in promoting and strengthening political, economic, and community relations between the two countries. UAE's Minister of State for Food Security Mariam El-Mehairi has just concluded a 2-day trade mission in the Philippines to look into tie-ups in agriculture and food sciences.
In Manila, the UAE agriculture officials held talks with senior counterparts and other stakeholders in agribusiness.
The Philippine-UAE relationship has nowhere to go but up. With much better bilateral ties in terms of economy, politics, and people-to-people ties, it is time for both countries to show cooperation in spite of differences, which shows that the world is one step closer to a better place.
Pati naman ang kinatawa ng Department of Foreign Affairs na si Linglingay Lacanlale ang Kingdom of Saudi Arabia sa matagumpay na pagdaos ng kanilang anibersaryo. Inaasahan pa umano ang mas matatag na diplomatikong relasyon ng Pilipinas at ng Saudi na patuloy na tumitibay mula pa taong 1979. Kinilala din ni Lacanlale ang inisyatibo
are just a glimpse of how our relationship with other countries across the world, especially among Asia, continually shows progress among the years. This proves one thing. Philippines is continuously showing progress in good faith. Time will come wherein we will be one of the developed countries in Asia that will provide assistance and help to countries in need of it. Sulong Pilipinas, laban kabayan para sa bayan.